First off, the first thing you're going to do on the test, I'm going to give you a couple of numbers. Let me just mix them up. 12, 15, 16, 16, Friday. 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 30. What I would do is in this one, I would ask for the mean, median, and mode. So to find the mean, you take these numbers and add it together. So 12 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 18 plus 20 plus 30. And you would put that on or over how many numbers you have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this case, it's 7 numbers. So I have 7 on the bottom. This is going to be 12, 20, 27, carry the 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 127. 127 divided by 7. That is going to be, guys in the back, I told you to be quiet. People who just walk in, just be quiet in general. So 127 divided by 7. What? 18.1. Mean. The median. The median is the middle number. There's 2 ways to think about it. You could think about it by counting from the outside inside. Remember, though, the median has to be in order. These numbers I gave you in order. But if they're not in order, you have to change them in order. Girls. Other way you could do it is, what you're going to do is count how many you have, which you already did, 7, and then cut that in half. What's half of 7? 3.5. So you go 1, 2, 3. So you're here at the 3.5 section, and you go the other way. There's 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Yes.
But then how do you find a median on like the table? Remember when we did that?
On the stem and leaf plot, I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'm going to ask you to make a stem and leaf.
Doing the stem and leaf plot.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, you got to pay attention. Ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right. Mode. The mode is the one that happens the most often. In this case, is 16. Remember, though, mode could be multiple numbers, like you have 16 and 18 or something like that. No. In the mode, you just list all that happens in door. Or it can have no mode, as in there's nothing that happens most often. Range is the next thing we're going to do. Is the biggest number minus the smallest number.
So 30 minus 12.
12, which is going to be 18. Okay? It's 18 here. There's 18 here. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in there. Range could be any number, basically. All right. I'm going to ask you also to make a stem and leaf using this. So to make a stem and leaf, you're going to put the stem parts on the left. Now, what is the tens digits here? I see a tens and I see a 20s, okay?
Why are you doing 10? It's going to be stem 1 is already done and then 2.
So
why are you doing...
Pay attention. Shh. I'll explain. So your stem is your tens place, while your leaves are the ones digit. So for example, if this is 1, you're going to have a 2, you're going to have a 5, you're going to have a 6, you're going to have a 6, you're going to have an 8. Because you have a 12, that's 1, 2, you have a 15, 1, 5, 16, 1, 5, 16, 1, 6, 18, 1, 8. And on the next part, you have 20 and 30. I should have put 3 for a stem. For 20, I'm just putting a 0 because I only have exactly 20. And 30, I'm going to put a 0 because I have exactly 30. So make sure your stem and leaves are in the right position or correct together.
I don't get it.
Emily, for that situation, you have to put the numbers in order to do the median. Like smallest to biggest. You did not do that for that.
I don't get it.
What don't you get? Well, put down the phone. Flip it over. Just flip it over.
Everything. Why do you do 10s and why do you do 1s?
Stem and leaf Guys in the back, how many times do I have to tell you? How many days do I have to tell you? How many weeks do I have to tell you? How many hours do I have to spend to tell you to be quiet?
That was a good poem.
Motivation. You got what?
Mr. Tobel's rage. All right.
Rage of a math teacher. Wait, so
The conflict.
always STEM and leaf you do tens and ones?
Yes. For your test, it'll be tens of ones. Sometimes it could be more, but
So you always put the zeros next to the 1, 2, 3?
well, no, it's because this is a 20, so I put 0 here to make 20. You see how that makes 20?
Yeah.
Well, this would make a 16 because this 1 is 6, 1 is 6.
So then you do the like numbers up there,
Mm-hmm.
like the second numbers with the 1.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You do 30, which is that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's done.
That's for the 7 leaf, yeah.
How many stems and leaves are we gonna have to make?
Just one.
Oh.
All right, next one is a two-way table. Let's say boys, girls, let's say 9th grade, 10th grade. Let's say, what are we asking them? I don't know, whatever. We're just counting them, I guess. Let's say this is 15. Let's say in total 9th graders are 32. Let's say that in total there is 80 kids. And let's see, is there any, I have to give you some more information. You get this one, which is 16. Okay. So make a quick table like that. Yours will be nicer. It'll look pretty. But this, I'm making it quick because it's just a practice. Yeah. So this would be how many 9th graders there are in total.
Yeah, and then the next one would be how many 10th graders in total, and then 80 would be like everyone all together.
Yes.
And then what goes on the top.
Well, let's do it. Let's fill it out, and then I'm happy to explain the pieces. Okay. For this one, what we're going to do is we have 15 over here. I know there are 32 9th graders because of this number down here. So if I know there's 32 9th graders and this is 15, exactly, which will be 17. You could also think of it as 32 minus 15. All right, if I figure out this is 17, 17 plus 16 will figure out how many girls there are in this case. So 17 plus 16 is 33. Wait a second. If I know how many girls there are, and there's 80 students in total, I can figure out how many boys there are, which is 47. Wait a second. If I can figure out how many boys there are, and I know there's 15 boys in the 9th grade, I can figure out how many 10th grade boys there are.
Do you mind it?
Yeah, 47 minus 15, which is 32. Wait a second. If I know there's 32 boys in the 10th grade and 16 girls in the 10th grade, you could find the total 10th graders, 48. And wait, 32 plus 48 does equal 80. Okay. So you're going to get one where it's partially filled, and you have to answer questions. So for example, if I ask you how many 9th grade girls there are, you have to point out that's 17. If I ask you, is there more 10th graders or 9th graders? You have to point out it's 10th graders because this is 48 in total. All right. The other way I will tell you, I will give you a paragraph, and you just have to fill in the table. So there's one where it's partially filled, and one is blank, and you fill in from the information, okay? All right. The next thing on your test is a histogram. In this section, I will give you the things already filled out. So I'll give you the table. Let's say this is going to be frequency. The second part is always frequency. Let's say this one is going to be the amount of pair of shoes you have. So if people have 0 to 5, if people have 6 through 9, wait, is this the right amount? Sorry, this should be 1 through 5. 6 to 9, let's say 9 to 15. No, 10 to 15, my bad. And then 16 to 20. I'll fill this up randomly, or I will just put numbers. So let's put 6, 7, 3, 4.
18. What?
No, I don't want it. I don't want it too crazy.
Wait, but that doesn't go into any of them.
No. But this is how many people. Let's say 6 people have
Oh, that
1 through 5 shoes. All right, you're just getting this bar, okay? So in this bar, you're gonna have to do a couple things. First, label. Your right side or your bottom side will always be frequency. Remember, frequency just means how often something happens. If something happens frequently, that would happen a lot. And then over here will be the category you're talking about. In this case, shoes. Oh my God, I messed up. My bad. I forgot this. We did it this way. Shoes are going to be here. This is my fault. Shoes are going to be here, and frequency is going to be up top. And then frequency is going to be here. This is my fault. I apologize for that. So on your left side, you're going to make the marks. In this case, you can see the highest one is 7. So you guys make sure your marks go up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could put an 8th one, it doesn't matter. But it has to reach at least the data that you're given. And over here, you're going to have to make a block for each thing. So this would be 1 through 5. This would be 6 through 9. And this would be 10 through 15. Notice this is not on the tick mark, but in the opening in between. That is not in the tick mark. 16 to 20. A lot of people put it on the tick mark, and that would be incorrect.
So there's nothing on the tick mark?
Nothing on a tick mark, because there's no, you can't have 5.5 shoes. I guess you technically can, but not, let's say pretend no. Right? So in this case, there's 6 in total. So I'm going to go for the first block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and make my bar up to 6 units.
I thought it was wait, so why do you use the tick mark?
Second block. Use that second block. 6.
Well, 6 and 9 is 7. So this is 7 blocks. So we're going to make a block to 7 in the same 6 and 9 opening because there's 7 in total. Like we did it with tick marks, but I'm just telling you there's 7 people who have 6 and 9 shoes. Mm-hmm. Your next one, 10 to 15, is going to be 3. So we're going to make the bar up to 3.
Why don't you start from 6 through 9 if that number is 6?
No, this number is how many people have 1 through 5 shoes. And it's 16 to 40, there's 4 of them. So it goes up to 4. Good. Again, you're just getting the little L bar and the numbers, okay? You have to fill it in yourselves. All right. The last one is going to be a sampling question. So for example, a zoo wants to know what customers, go ahead, want in a zoo. They ask every 4th person should we keep these endangered animals away from their natural habitat? Okay. This is a very basic one, okay? So in this, I would first ask you, what is the population? Now, the population is always the people you're trying to learn about. So in this case, what is the population? You're not trying to learn about all Americans. You're trying to learn about No, I'm not trying to learn about every fourth person in the world or in the universe. I'm not trying to learn that. What is my not every fourth customer? I'm trying to learn about customers in general because I want to see what they think. Now, my sampling method for your test, I'm going to leave 3 options, okay? There's going to be self-selected. There's stratified random. And there's systematic. All right. Yes, we did. All right. As a reminder, self-selected is when the people who get involved with the sample choose themselves to join, like a survey link or something like that. Yamatan.
Is the test gonna be like formatted like last one?
No, it's formatted like I'm teaching you now.
I'm not saying like each version, like each problem, how they go.
I guess so, basically, yeah. All right, stratified random.
Do you have a pocket we can do?
Not right now, no. Stratified random is random when you break it into groups first, then pick randomly from it. So the stratified random sample would be if I want to learn about, let's say, students, I'll break it up into grades first, then ask random kids from each grade. And then systematic, there's a rule that's involved with it. So the rule could be, I'm going to ask every third guy that passed by, or I'm going to ask everyone whose last name starts with G, something like that. That's a systematic rule. So in this case, because they're asking every fourth person, that is a rule that they follow. I'm going to write a prompt, and you're going to figure out what the population is, whether the sample method is, and then the last thing I'm going to ask if there could be bias. If there could be bias. You have to read and understand where could bias happen. Where could bias happen in this situation?
Some people can have kids and think consume better for them, and some people think that animals.
But that's what you're trying to learn about people.
The positive feedback, that's bias.
What do you mean the positive feedback?
Like they're asking should we keep these endangered animals away from their natural habitat. That's
Oh,
what they're already
because
doing.
they're
They want
asking
people to
a
know that what they're
specific
doing is fine.
question.
Maybe, but look at the question. What's wrong with the question?
They're being specific about it, so they're like trying.
Look at how they're saying it. Should we keep these endangered animals away from their natural habitat? It seems to be like they're like holding them hostage in this language, which might make you feel bad and make you say yes or no. A bias is something that could influence a person's choice. Okay?
This one is yes.
Isn't our test?
Yes. This is on your test, and yes, this is bias. Why? You could say it in the question. So you got to point out where it is. So they say in this one, they're keeping animals away from the natural habitat. Now, in this situation, there might be multiple right answers on like the question I give you. As long as you give a fair argument to it, you can still get it correct, even if I particularly disagree, okay? So this one, you just gotta explain a little bit like why you think it's biased. You can't just say yes, it's biased. You gotta explain why you think it's biased. Yeah, Joey.
Can you post like a word sheet with all the words in the meaning of all the words?
No, that's a dictionary.
Okay, so can you kind of put that in?
You can get that online. Yeah. No, it'll be basic words. It won't be tricky words or anything like that. It's not English test. All right, lucky for you. That's literally it of the test.
Yeah, that's easy.
What
All right.
if it's 10, you're confused?